see what you guys see. So bear with me. Go to webinar. Go to webinar. Give me just a moment, please. Just a moment. Just a moment. Just a moment. We'll be right there with you. We'll be right there with you. When the company was in its building out stage, before it came, before it started doing any pre-launch, before we started making any purchases or anything like that, the idea was for Paul Nash to be the chief architect because Randall Williams had pretty much mapped out the compensation, and of course, you know, they had to go through attorneys and consultants and all that good stuff. But between Randall and Mike, well, I think Randall had already mapped out a lot of this stuff before he even got a phone call from Mike. But then, you know, together they start working on all this good stuff. And so originally what was going to happen, Queen, the game plan was for Paul Nash to architect the system. I'm not a techie, so I don't know what all that means. But then to have the eAdgear engineers program what Paul had architected. And he would basically, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but let's say he's more like a project manager, and he's overseeing them in the programming, making sure they got the right code and all that good stuff. Well, what happened, Queen, in that process is the Z Company started having some challenges, and many of you that were familiar with the Z Company know exactly what happened. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, I would have done the same thing. If I was in the planning stages of a company and it was going to have a revenue sharing compensation model, and the company that had led the revenue sharing compensation industry, all of a sudden there were some challenges there, and you had all these leaders looking for a home, I would have launched two. So what the intent initially was is for Paul to architect the eAdgear folks to program under his tutelage and under his direction. When the Z Company had its challenges, and there was all this low-hanging fruit, all these folks looking for a new home, particularly in the revenue-sharing space, essentially my understanding is it was more of, okay, Paul, you know this, you know the compensation model, you know all that, go program it. You know, we'll catch up later as an engineering team, but you go and program it, make it work, okay? Now, that brings us up to this point now, where we had things engineered, or we had things programmed, but it's going inside of the eAdgear system. And so as it goes inside the eAdgear system, there's certain intricacies in the eAdgear system. What I had been told is that the eAdgear system for the eAdgear affiliates was operating extremely smoothly. And of course, what we've seen with Go From Places, it's operated, and I'm not talking about support now, I'm just talking about the functionalities back there. There's some functionalities we're missing. We'll talk about that in a few moments. But in terms of the operation of seeing your daily business builder bonus program, sure, and the company wants to change how that is viewed, so it's a little bit more simpler to view and understand, and so on and so forth. But you know, that had been operating just fine. Well, what happened last week, when we had a couple of days where it didn't post as it normally would, is the company had begun to bring the engineering team more into the forefront in terms of the programming. Paul, going back to what was originally designed, him being the architect, the programmers programming everything, and what happened, maybe this is where this language barrier comes in, there were a couple of pieces of code that were modified, maybe mistakenly, maybe not understanding, so on and so forth. That's where we saw a couple of things last week. I think Monday or Tuesday, if you went in your back office, you looked at your genealogy was blank. You didn't lose anybody. Everybody was still there, but there was a little piece of programming that had been altered or modified for whatever reason. All right, that's now resolved. Same thing with the Daily Business Builder Bonus Program, which is why I think it was last Wednesday. Normally, when I would get up on the East Coast, take my son to school, so it's pretty early in the morning. If I check the Daily Business Builder program, I would see the revenue. And keep in mind, the Daily Business Builder Bonus Program lags 2 days behind. So what was posted today on a Tuesday is coming from Sunday's revenue. What will be posted tomorrow, Wednesday, is going to come from Monday's revenue. Okay, so what happened was same thing as the eAdGear folks were now taking a little bit more of the forefront of the programming. I don't know stuff about the code, but something happens with the code, and that's why it didn't populate. Then when it came up, it populated, I think, zeros. And I was in the air when all this happened, so I wasn't aware of those things. Now, we've not had an issue since then. And one of the things that we did make very known, and we were very passionate about this, is when issues like that come up, we can deal with that. We're big boys and big girls, but you got to let us know. You can't let something like that happen and we not have a post very quickly to say, hey, Daily Business Builder Bonus Program is running, hasn't been posted, stay tuned, something, something like that. That way you as leaders aren't getting your texts and your Skypes and your emails and your phone calls blown up, and there's just these are really simple things, but we just need to make sure that we pay attention to these simple details. I will tell you that from that, and I already knew this. I already knew, for instance, that Randall, in particular, he's kind of been the go-to principal that I've gone to. All right, and because there were support issues with the support ticket system, he availed Molly Johnson to work with us until we could get a more robust support system. Now, I do know that Molly's little girl was ill a week and a half ago. Molly then picked up that illness, and so Molly was dealing with the flu. So some of you that had emailed Molly, if you didn't get, many of you got your support issues resolved very quickly. All right. And by the way, I have to commend every single one of you. We've taught the bill, burn, bill strategy. When you're dealing with support, no matter who that support person happens to be, you start off, kind of praising them. So when I went into the boardroom, Queen, I didn't go passionate initially. Passion did rise, but not initially. I went, praising and thanking, and we appreciate, and boy, we're going to fill that gap, and hero, we're going to be heroes and all that stuff. Build. Then we went passionate, and very passionate. And then we went back to the build. Molly told me, she says, I can tell, she said, every single one of the folks that has emailed with support issues, I know where they're coming from. Because she said, what are you telling them? Because everybody always starts off so nice, then they tell me what the issue is, and then they always end up so nice. These are just the nicest people. All right, now, where we are with that now is the support ticket system is working, one. Number two, they have people working to clear up the backlog, including Molly. So what they have had Molly on is going through support tickets. I think initially she was going through saying your support tickets will be responded to, she and a few others, in the next 48 to 72 hours. When I talked to her like 5 minutes before we got on tonight's webinar. She said she's working them from one end and someone else is working them from the other end. She also, those of you that have sent in emails to her with outstanding support issues, they've asked her to work the tickets, so she has sent that to the customer service supervisor. From what Molly is telling me, from what she was told, about half of those issues, and I don't know whose issues those are, which half those happen to be. If your issue was resolved, then you're in the resolved file. If your issue has not been resolved, from what Molly was told, those are being worked on. So about half of those have already either been resolved, and the other half are being worked on from what she's telling me. She also told me to let you know that she's at it very early in the morning. So if you are sending in a support ticket, even though right now we're not emailing Molly anymore. Right now, that was only a temporary piece until we had a more robust system. Right now, you're going to use the support ticket system, all right? She says, try to send that support ticket early in the morning because she's right on them. And guys, those of you and guyettes that were sending emails before she got ill, you know how quickly she responded. If she couldn't get the issue resolved right then, she typically responded back to you to let you know that the issue was being worked on. In many cases, she even CC'd me, so I know that she and I just heard nothing but tremendous response from Molly. Okay, now I can tell you that doggone Randall Williams has bent over backwards and forwards and forwards and backwards. Out of all of the principals, he's the one that just really, really impresses me, not only because of the sacrifice that he has shown. He spent about 4 months out there at corporate and only saw his family for about 2 weeks out of that 4 months. That's how committed he is to all of us, okay? And then availing Amali. So I'm just really I'm a fan of all of them, but I'm really a big fan of Randall and Paul. Paul's done a phenomenal job on the programming end. Now, so some of those bugs we've seen from a programming end, we should start to see being squashed. I got a text from Mike Driggers. I'm going to post here in a few moments some of the leading issues that they are dealing with. There are over 35 high priority items. Some of those were they were already working on. Some of those were things that we shared. We happened, by the way, just so you know, we were out there with the Vandersteins, and who I'm the president of their fan club. I'm a big fan of Wendy and Linton Vanderstein. Darren Miller, who just also promoted to presidential director. He was not there, but he was on a conference call with us. So we worked at the end of things. We worked on providing a list from the field of things that we saw as priorities. I'm going to share with you some of the things that are on that list. Now, I was hoping to have time frames tonight to be able to share with you. I do not have those time frames because there's more on the list than what we provided. There's 35 on the list. When I start getting some time frames, we will start to let you know, all right? But I do want you to know there are about 35 now on the list. Mike texted me earlier today. He says, give me a moment. No, actually, he texted me right before we got on. I'll give you some of the things they're talking about. He's saying all should be done next week or earlier. All right, I'm going to define, since he said this, I'm going to define next week as the end of next week. And do be mindful that we're about to move into the heart of the holiday season, and we'll talk to you about what that's going to mean for some of our webinars coming forward as well. Let me share with you some of the things that are at the top of the list. Okay, let me share with you. And if I don't get to a particular item that you feel is very important, it doesn't mean it's not on the list, but we don't have the time right now to go through all 35 of the things. I will tell you that we, in no uncertain terms, let them know the things that had not yet been done. And I can tell you, Queen, we made statements like this. This is where things got passionate. $22 million the parent company did last year. $70 to $100 million the company, the parent company's done this year. Out of the gate, GoFund Places have done $10 million. And we told them, but it doesn't look like it, guys. Doesn't look like it. I should be able to see. John should be able to see. Winslow should be able to see. Biz should be able to see the email addresses and the phone numbers of his personally sponsored. We got folks out there that had maybe 100 or 200 or 300 folks during the pre-launch that registered, and a percentage of those upgraded, but leaders can't go right now and start working those folks who hadn't already upgraded. Now, here's where we found a deal as it relates to the cultures. What we found out is that in the at least in the e-Adgear system, and maybe this is a cultural thing, and if you happen to be of Asian descent, I know very little about the Asian culture. I'm only sharing with you what I've been told. So if I've been told wrong, if it comes across wrong, please understand I'm ignorant. Okay, when it comes to that. I'm trying to learn, okay. Here, what we've been told, Queen, is that in the e-Adgear system, none of that shows. That privacy, they value privacy over knowing the information of the person who just joined them. All right. Now that might work in the Asian market. Is that going to work here?
No.
No. So there's got to be a level of conformity. All right. So that had not taken the priority that it should have. I dare say, after being there, that is no longer an excuse because we've let them know.
That's a priority.
Very passionately why that has to happen. Why we've got to separate the customers from the affiliates. You go in your back office right now, click on genealogy. What do you see? You see affiliates, but where are my customers? Well, your customers are intermingled in there. So how do I know if this person is a customer versus an affiliate? Because the way I communicate with a customer is different than the way I communicate with an affiliate. We need to have the ability. All right, so I'm kind of working on a list now. So we certainly need to see the names, email addresses, and phone numbers of our personally sponsored. Now, typically, virtually few companies, I won't say no, few companies these days, it used to be a day and time when companies would show your entire genealogy, where I could see the email address and maybe the phone number of everyone. If we have a 6-level, 7-level, 20-level, 50 million level organization, I could see all the way down. Most companies don't do that anymore, and which makes a lot of sense because unfortunately you would have people coming in and some people don't build with integrity. If you notice, for instance, if you go and you Google GoFund Places, GoFund Rewards, go to YouTube, you'll see we've got several videos out there. Not one of them has a referral link. Now, we did ours a little bit differently, and so this is certainly not a shot on anybody who's got the referral link. That's what they're doing. They're building their business. But we build from a macro level. We build with the larger team in mind. And again, that doesn't mean that anybody else who does it differently is not doing it the right way. They're doing it the right way. We wanted to post videos that you can leverage right away because the company doesn't yet really have the videos out there, and we wanted you to be able to leverage those messages if you wanted to, because we know that's what we're good at. Not good at much, but we're pretty good at that kind of stuff. And we wanted to make sure that you could send someone a video knowing that we didn't have any referral links in there, so they wind up coming right back to you. Well, that's because we understand building with integrity and character. Unfortunately, there's some people out there that join organizations just so that they can have a genealogy that falls underneath them, and then they try to pick them off. This is why we say when you come into our Skype chat rooms, you come into Skype chat rooms, great, but we're going to deal with things positively, one, and number two, we're not going to what? Pitch. It doesn't mean that many of you don't have other businesses and interests that you are developing, and we applaud you for that. We want you to do that. What we don't want to have is a situation where Yvonne G. was referred by, let's say, Winifred Smith, and then we have somebody else trying to poach Yvonne G. from Winifred. That's not fair. That's not right. That's not how you do business. So most companies are not going to have that. I doubt we'll ever have it. If I see it, I'm going to fight against it, because the only thing you should really be able to see is the persons that you personally sponsored. That way, that helps to protect the integrity of the genealogy. Now, but we do need to have those customers totally separate. We also need to have the ability, these are some of the things on the top priority list, the ability to give away lifestyle dollars to existing customers. So that for those of you that you've got credit totals, but your daily rewards, because your credit totals are just getting started, maybe they're not large just yet, your daily rewards maybe are generating 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 23 lifestyle dollars as a reward, and you're saying, well, gosh, I don't want to have to go and purchase another customer to give them 23 lifestyle dollars, or have to go and register another customer just to give them 23 lifestyle dollars, because I already have customers, and not all of my customers have gotten the full complement of lifestyle dollars that we can now give them. Right now we can give them 300 lifestyle dollars per customer. So we need that functionality where you can go in and say, oh, okay, here are my customers. Oh, here are the lifestyle dollars that's been given to customer A. customer A has received 212 lifestyle dollars. I just earned 23 lifestyle dollars in my lifestyle reward last night. Let me give customer A another 23 lifestyle dollars so you can immediately see those credit totals beginning to grow. Again, I know Randall got that, Mike got that, but I needed the eAdGear folks to get that as well. So that is certainly one of the things that is being worked on. Let's see here. Just a few things here. There's over 35, so I won't miss everything. I don't know the reasoning behind this, but I know that engineering is working on this. Membership levels. We know we've gotten some reports of folks going into the back office, and they were a national marketing director yesterday. When they go into the back office today, they showed up as a regional marketing director. Or they were an SVP, senior vice president, yesterday. They go into the back office. They're showing up as a regional marketing director. Okay, so that is one of the big issues that engineering is dealing with. Membership, what they call membership level changes. Again, everything I'm listing here, I don't have the time frames for the specific ones. What Mike texted me, and believe me, I was on him about this today because I told him, hey, I got this webinar, I got to answer to this to my audience. And Queen, I reiterated, as a matter of fact, I said, Mike, Francis doesn't have to answer to these people. Charles doesn't have to answer to these people. But you know where T. Lamont and Queen Twitter are going to be every Tuesday night, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we're just a voice for you guys because you, Troy Rudd, you got your own folks to answer to. Isaac Pagan, you got your own folks to answer to. Ted Mac, boy, that's a word. Ted Mac, how do I say that? Makovsky. Ted, you know I'm trying to talk about you. Buddy, I messed it up. I'm sorry. Ted, you got your own folks to answer to. Okay, so what he's telling me is that these issues, we should see resolution in the coming days. Some of these, hopefully, we'll see resolution as early as this week. He said, I'm reading from the text, separating the customers from, all right, we already mentioned that, lifestyle dollars, mentioned that. Oh, one thing you should know about the eCash right now, okay? For those of you that are withdrawing eCash, for those of you that are doing any types of withdrawals, the company, I don't know why the post left, but I noticed that there was a post that said that there is a small transaction fee that looks like eAdGear is imposing there of 0.06%. That's not 6%, ladies and gentlemen. 0.06%, no, or 0.6%. So less, just a little less than a 1 percentage point. So if you were withdrawing, let's say $1,000, okay, then the 0.6% of that would be a $6 fee, if you will, okay? And you'll see when you do that withdrawal, it will say how much is, let's say, $994 in this case, would be going to Payzer or Solid Trust Pay, and then the other $6 would be going to cover that small fee. Now, that was a post last week, maybe, all right? Well, if you went and you tried to withdraw, let's say you got $1,000 sitting in there now, and you want to withdraw all of that, if you don't factor in that 0.6%, because the notice is no longer there, I don't know why, I'll make sure they understand it's no longer there, so it's confusing. And so you go in to request $1,000, it doesn't let you do that. You've got to factor that in right now. Is that optimal? Obviously not. Is that a bug? Yes, it is. Does that need to be addressed? Yes, it does. Are we going to make excuses? No. Do we want results? Yes. Okay? But just understand, if you're looking to withdraw any cash, yes.
It takes, if you have any more eCash, it'll take the fee from that remaining eCash.
Yeah, but if you have $1,000 there now,
yeah. But if you had, let's say you had $1,000, let's say you had $1,010, it would actually take the fee from the $10, and it would leave you $4 in eCash.
Exactly. But if you don't know that, if you saw $1,000, let's say you saw 1,010 in your example. So if you saw $1,010 in your eCash and you wanted to withdraw that, and you told the system, I want $1,010,
then you couldn't get it.
And because there was no post there, or there was nothing that says, I did a withdrawal the other day because I wanted to test the system, and I set some eCash to be withdrawn so I could test things out, and it wouldn't allow me to do it. And I happened to be on the phone with Randall at the time. I said, Randall, I can't withdraw. I can't withdraw. I can't withdraw. And then he said, oh, try taking out that 0.6% and see what happens. And then we did that. It worked. So I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that. That's a bug that's got to be fixed, obviously. Okay. By the way, I've not heard great things about withdrawing from Pay2. I'm not happy with Pay2. I would not withdraw to Pay2 because I ain't heard nothing good about it.
Only if you already set up a debit card would I even try.
Okay, and I know there's going to be other options coming soon. Okay. All right. Yes. So want to make you aware of that. Okay. All right. So we got eCash. Let's see some other things here. A lot more. I just want to give you a few more here so you know.
Hold up a second. I have a couple people who said audio keeps going in and out. I hear him clearly, so I'm not sure if it's your connection. It's a couple of people. Since you started the webinar.
Okay. Let me give you some more from the list.
Everybody else is saying it sounds good. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Giving lifestyle dollars to existing customers. Allowing affiliates to give lifestyle dollars and lifestyle club cards to the same customer. Right now, that's not a functionality. It needs to be there. We've submitted that to be on the list. For those of you that purchased, particularly those of you that purchased customers for lifestyle club cards, we know we've not heard of anything particularly using real cool ads, which I'm such a huge fan of. Those guys and gals are so professional. They respond very quickly to any support issues on their side, and they've got real customers and what have you. But many of us, including myself, purchased customers expressly to have customers given lifestyle club cards, and what we saw is that some of those customers, some of us, me included, did not get credit. The system shows that the lifestyle club cards were given to the customer. Two things happened. It didn't deduct, at least for me, it didn't. As this happened, it didn't deduct from my inventory, number one, and then number two, it didn't give me the credit. Okay, that's one of those items that we were very, very passionate about in no uncertain terms. Yes. Passion, red hot passion.
Yes.
We were passionate.
Okay. Got that.
All right. Got to get that one done. Okay. And so fixing the support ticket system so it looks like that they're on the way of getting that done, making sure that tickets are addressed in a timely fashion. If they can't get the issue resolved, at least making sure that people are aware that that corporate is listening. Making sure that we've got more native English speakers hired from a support standpoint. And again, no disrespect to anybody, but I know that a lot of the support staff there, English is not their first language. Now, ultimately in time, we'll need to have Spanish speakers, and we'll need to have Russian speakers. You know, we'll let the areas of the world kind of grow and determine those, but we have to have more English-speaking folks there. And again, Queen, do you think I was a little passionate about that one?
Yes, Tillema, I know you were a little passionate about that one.
All right. Now, credit card integration, so that customers can make purchases from the mall. Okay, let me kind of tell you why that has not happened just yet. eAdGear's, the parent company, Go Fun Places, obviously is what we're promoting. And Queen, we were very honest. We were very honest because we told them, I didn't come here to join the eAdGear. No disrespect, Francis and Charles. I didn't sell our audience on eAdGear. No disrespect, Francis and Charles. We were sold on Go Fun Places.
Right.
That eAdGear was the parent, and that this was going to provide the backing and so on and so forth. And so one of the things that's still being worked out, because let's just put it like this. There's some banking things that they want to have, and I'll just leave it like that. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that because I'm in the U.S. and unfortunately we got way too many regulations in the U.S. So that has taken a little bit longer to set up all of those banking things for Go Fun Places. Because Go Fun Places is going to be the one that is accepting the credit cards, okay, there's a couple things that happens there. One, we can't get merchant account approval until everything was live. So those things are live now. So we couldn't get credit card approval from the merchant accounts. The merchant, I mean, you can do all the paperwork and fill out all that other stuff, but they're not going to approve the credit card processing until they see your site live. Now, obviously, we see the site live now. But number two, some of that delay has had to do with the setting up of the banking in the proper jurisdictions where they want to be set up. I think that's safe to say that there. And that just takes a little extra time. So let's be patient when it comes to the credit card processing. We know it's not there yet. That's going to be coming down the road. And so what I'm hopeful of is that many of these challenges and issues that we have seen, that as we are getting closer to the bulk of the holiday season, whatever holiday you may celebrate during this time of the year, that they will get a lot of these things resolved, so that as we come back from the holiday season, going into the new Greco-Roman calendar year, that we are, we've got a lot of these bugs taken care of. Those of you that currently have you don't have your foot on the brakes, but you don't have it on the gas pedal, that you'll feel more comfortable putting your feet on the gas. That's what our hope is going to be. Okay, so I want to give you a report of what happened out there. I wanted you to know we did not come away singing Kumbaya. We were not holding hands. But I would like to think that everything was effective. Okay. All right. So with that being said, I think I'm finished for the night. So Queen, you got some questions out there you want to go to for Q&A?
Yes, there are some questions out here, Tillema.
Okay. All right. We'll address as many as we can.
Okay. Let's go back up. Let's see. I think you've answered the support ticket in that they're going through and trying to make sure that they get answered. I have a question about that, Tillema. So if, let's say, what is the time frame that you said the 24 to 70? What is it? How many hours?
Yes. Yesterday, I got a call from Molly. Molly said, "Hey, the support ticket system is ready right now. They want everybody using the support ticket queue as opposed to sending the email, so that the support tickets can be monitored for how quickly they are open, how quickly they're closed, so on and so forth." She said, "So what I'm doing right now is I'm going through and addressing the support tickets, letting them know that support tickets will be answered and or resolved within 48 to 72 hours. That was yesterday. When I talked to her about 5 minutes before we came on the webinar, she said that she was able to knock out quite a few support tickets today. There's multiple people working on those support tickets. Again, in no uncertain terms, we certainly, and again, it wasn't just me. It was, the Vandersteins, Darren Miller there as well, saying, hey, we got to get these things resolved. And again, Randall and Mike and Paul were actually, when I had a conversation with Mike even before, and in my passionate way of communicating, he told me, hey, bring that to the boardroom. I want that passion. I want people to really hear what's happening in the field. Because remember, Francis and Charles, they're not in the GFT field. All right, so they needed to know that while we're excited and really excited about the potential of GoFund Places, that things are fragile and things have to get worked on, and we've got to speed things up. We can't do this, no disrespect to any of our folks, in Asian time. We've got to speed this up, and knock these things out quickly to make sure we've got confidence in the field and things of that nature. So those tickets should be getting resolved and answered in the next day or two.
Okay, so and so we're looking forward to getting answers to those questions the next day. Those support tickets in the next day or two. Then I have another question here regarding the December 5th deadline for the subscription fee. If people didn't make that December 5th deadline, what is the penalty, or do they still have time to get it in?
Oh, hold on. Let me see. That is a question I don't have an answer to right now. I don't know if that's a hard deadline. If there would be any extension on that based on some of the issues that were going on. Give me just a moment.
But I know that the issue. I think the issue with the like when people paid with Pay2, I do believe that's still an issue. It didn't get upgraded. The payment is in the back office, but it didn't get upgraded to. I mean, it didn't get the date didn't go up to 1/1/13.
Okay. Give me a moment. Let me make a note of that. I don't have an answer to that question. I need to get one.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I got it.
Give me a moment before you ask me another question. Let me just make a note of that, please. Someone mentioned something about someone signing up and getting free lifestyle dollars. I don't know where that came from. Nobody gets free lifestyle dollars. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
Okay. Question about. Give me just a moment, Quinn. I'm almost say a question about.
And if you're talking about getting the additional credit, additional lifestyle dollars, or bonus credits for having been a founder, they would have to have been a founder.
Yeah, I know in the Skype room today that was a point where people, someone didn't quite understand the founders promotion, where you got 50% additional credits based on having purchased a package on the founders promotion, and I think that ran out like by mid-October.
It did. The 14th of October, I think it ended.
Okay. All right. So any purchase thereafter does not get that founders promotion credit. Okay. So the founders promotion credit was based on those premium packages that were purchased once you gave your samples away, whether lifestyle dollars or lifestyle club cards. Then you got a 50% bonus. 50% bonus in your credits, and you will see that as you go into your back office under my. Oh, let me see. Let me go check real quickly.
Okay, while you're doing that, Vicky, you were asking what time is early, and is it Eastern or is it Pacific time? I would say what early means is as soon as you can possibly get it in there. Just get it in there, and if you do it early, then you'll also be one of the first ones to be answered for the day. Whether you're Eastern or Pacific. No,
Molly, the corporate runs on Pacific time, but Molly actually does not live in the California area. So I think she's on Central time. So she may actually be addressing tickets earlier than when corporate's going to open up.
Right.
Okay, give me a moment under my bonuses. For those of you asking about the founders credits, if you go in under my bonuses, then under Business Builder Bonus Program, you're going to see there could be a lot of entries depending on how active you've been.
Okay.
But you'll see where it says where you got a founder's bonus. It'll say Business Builder Bonus and in parentheses founder plus 50% bonus. Okay. Next question.
Okay, T. Lamont. Yeah. Okay, I have a person who says, I can't tell if my customers are using their lifestyle dollars. My question to you is, does it make a difference?
Does it make a difference? Well,
if you can see or not see, it doesn't really. Because you got the credit once you gave them away.
Yeah, you got credits once you gave them away. Obviously, we want to be able to see whether or not a customer has used lifestyle dollars, because I know one of the future functionalities that we have strongly advocated from the field standpoint is if you can see your customers, number one, you can see who's using lifestyle dollars, number two, and if a customer is using lifestyle dollars, let's reward that customer by giving them more lifestyle dollars. We want to have more and more new customers register, but if you already have someone that has become a buying customer, or at least a transacting customer, even if they went into the lifestyle mall and used lifestyle dollars to make 100% purchase, because some products will allow you to use 100% lifestyle dollars, we want to reward that particular customer. So they come back and they consume again and consume again and consume again. So that functionality is going to be very important. It's not one of the top things just yet. So once they get through the top 35 or so, then there'll be another list. All right, and I don't know if that'll be on the second or third list or what have you. Next question.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. Somebody said the pay two for them has been great.
Yeah, I know. I saw that too. Yeah.
Richard, I'm glad to hear that. Unfortunately, I haven't heard that. You're the first one I've heard that from. I'm not the biggest fan of taking payments via Solid Trust Pay or Payza either, because it is, they charge fees coming to you. But I'm not going to trip over pennies getting the dollars, and I know that the company has some really good payment systems that should be launched. Again, we won't see them before the beginning of the year, so it's probably sometime in the first quarter of next year. Next question, Queen.
Okay.
David, the company does not want to get into issuing checks. That's
right. That's what I was getting. That was the one I was going to. I was like, okay, that becomes very, very, especially as we grow. Very hard.
And the reality is, the majority of folks, I don't know what the numbers are, but I would imagine that the large majority of folks are right now using this time to build up their credit total. So I haven't heard of a lot of people looking to make a withdrawal just yet. Obviously, if you are looking to make a withdrawal, you have every right to do so. It's your money. And we want to make sure you get it quickly, and we talked about some of those things and making sure that it's clearly communicated. I know in the Z company, for instance, everybody knew that essential commissions were cut on Monday. Now, it didn't mean that it went out of the door on Monday, but at least when they used to do checks, they cut it on Monday. When they were doing things like some of the other electronic systems, those went in the batches on Monday. Now, you didn't get it to Thursday or Friday or what have you. And so that's one of the things we want to make sure that is clearly communicated. If it says in the back office 3 to 5 business days, then we make sure it's 3 to 5 business days. If it's going to be every Friday, everything's going to be signed as a batch, then do it every Friday. We're big boys, big girls. Just let us know what the rules of the games are.
Exactly.
Game happens to be, so that we can communicate that to our audience. Okay. Next question.
Will there be a feature to swap eCash to another team member / affiliate to help with their monthly membership subscription payment or anything else they might want to do?
I'm hearing that's going to be a functionality. That wasn't one of the things that was on the list that we submitted. Very important. That's going to be a cool function, but we didn't submit that. What we wanted to do, one of the things that Randall said was, we got to have some quick victories. You know, we got to have some quick 5, 6, 7 things in the next few days that people see, to really get that confidence and restore that confidence and so on. It's not that confidence has been broken, but it's just that we're in a fragile state because so many people are coming from the Z company. So that creates hypersensitivity. So some issues that we've seen, if it hadn't been for the Z company, may not be that big of an issue. All right, but because of coming off of that situation for so many of us, then the sensitivities are heightened, and the company needs to be aware of that, and that's one of the reasons why we went out there. So, next question.
Tilo, I want you to take in Ryan's information, and then you check with RKA and make sure that that's exactly the offer.
Ryan, let me see.
At 10:35.
Okay. Hey Ryan, I will check. I don't want to announce that until I've had a chance. But Ryan, I am told I did speak with them. No, I didn't speak with them. I spoke with somebody else, and I don't remember who that person was. That basically concurred. Forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, because Ryan and I are having a private conversation in front of all of you. I'm sorry. I spoke with somebody else who said the same thing. But I've not spoken with them specifically about that. I don't want to announce that until I've heard that back from them directly. But thank you, sir. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you. All right.
Okay. What do international members put in the government ID field in the commission profile?
That's a great question. Whoever asked that question, can they go in now and see if the system will allow them to proceed without that? And if it doesn't, maybe just put something bogus like XXXX and see if that works. And if not, then that's certainly something that we need to get resolved. I know we've got a ton of international folks, so I'm assuming, I don't know, maybe if they haven't set up that particular profile, maybe not. So whoever asked that question, what time was that asked?
10:38.
I say 10:38. All right, Nina, can you do that for me? Can you go and log into your system, see if it will allow you to go through, if you're asking for yourself, see if it will allow you to go through without putting that in. If it doesn't, then just put something like XXXXXX, see if that allows you to go through, and if it doesn't, let me know right back here so that we can add that to the list, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate that.
Should the subscription renew date 12/1/2012 be seen on the site if December 1st renewal has been paid?
Very good. If your renewal has been updated in the back office, all right, if you go under, give me a moment so I can tell you. Let's try.
My account.
Hold on. Yeah, go under my account. I don't know if this shows anything sensitive, so let me see real quickly.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
I said it kind of shows your payment information. Yeah. So I mean, basically at the bottom of your in your my account, if it still says 12/1/2001, that's not. It should, and you've paid. If you've paid, it should say 1/1/2000. It should say 2013-1-01-01. There you go. That'll help you out. I mean.
Okay, so what you did is you went under My Account.
Yeah.
You went under My Account. You scrolled down about halfway. Under where it says, it'll show you the transaction of your Premier package. Underneath that, it's going to show you your rank, your current rank. Then it's going to say subscription renew date, and it's going to show a date. If your payment has been applied, it's going to show right now January 1, 2013. If you're still showing December, then your payment has not been applied. If you send in your payment,
a lot of times the payment shows back there, Lamont. That's what the problem is. The payment shows, but it's not been updated to 1/1/2013.
Yeah. What we found out is that if you some of you made a payment prior to December 1, maybe you made a payment on 11/27, November 27th, November 26th, so on and so forth, with the intention that that was going to be applied to December 1. There was a bug. They found that bug going forward for like January and February, but you may not be showing your subscription renew date the way it should be because of that previous bug. You need to let them know. Send in a support ticket on that. Provide any documentation. For instance, if you use Solid Trust Pay or Payza as an example, you will have a transaction ID. Go back to Payza, Solid Trust Pay, grab that transaction ID, put that in your support ticket. Same thing if you use eCash under My Account, it's going to show you the transaction date of your monthly subscription purchase. It has an order ID. Grab that order ID, put that in your support ticket. Now remember, do us a favor, okay? Now everything's going through the support ticket system. It's not just going straight to Molly, okay? So they're going to be getting all support tickets from all across, GFP landscape. Let's smother them with kindness. Build, burn, build. Appreciate everything you guys are doing for me. Build. Here's my issue. Burn. Thank you so much for your prompt attention to this detail. Build. So that we sandwich whatever the challenge is between, making them feel good on the front end, making them feel good on the back end. Okay? Next question.
All right, 3 minutes, T. Lamont, but let me just clarify something also. Anyone who paid with Pay2, even after December 1, is doing the same thing. The payment shows up in the back office, but it's still showing the 12/1/2012 renewal date. Okay. So it's still a bug on that front.
Okay.
And they had said that earlier to send in support tickets on that.
Okay.
And it still hasn't. Go ahead.
Go on, I'm sorry. No, go on, I'm sorry.
Oh, so it hasn't been totally fixed yet.
Okay. Someone asked me, did I dance? Frank, I promise you, we were not dancing. Why no dance?
All right. At 2 minute, you had 2 minute countdown now.
Okay.
The 30-day period for lifestyle dollars should, okay. They're basically saying it should not start until.
I agree. I don't have an answer for you, Stephen, but I wholeheartedly agree.
Okay. And can we purchase another package and pay next month's subscription and buy extra lifestyle dollars with a money order?
The answer to that is yes, Barb, but just make sure that if you go that route, that you fully detail in the documentation what you're doing, particularly if it's in one money order. So make sure that you've got your username in there, you've got a contact number, and it's legible. I would have you to type that out as opposed to writing it out. So type that out if you would, and make sure you detail what the money order is for. I'm covering January 1's monthly subscription. I want to purchase 217 lifestyle dollars. I want to purchase a $2,500 package, whatever that happens to be, whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish. Yes, ma'am.
You see Richard's thing. I mean, I don't know anything that we can do about that. But
Richard, I'm sorry, but I don't know. I don't know what can be done about that. Richard, I do know that there will be some other payment systems that I think will all like a whole lot better. It is what it is right now, and I certainly understand why the company instituted those payment systems, because they're quick to get those type of systems up and running. Some of the more robust systems that we'll have take a little bit longer, so I know they're coming. Next question.
Okay, will corporate be changing the lifestyle giveaway amount to include smaller increments, such as $5 or $1?
I don't know what that's going to look like once we can go and give lifestyle dollars to an existing customer, but I will put that on my list. I did not think about that one. Question about
Okay, it is 11 p.m. Lamont, we have a few more questions. We have quite a few more questions, but we will be here all night.
And I could do that, Queen.
I will let you do that, Lamont, but I'm going to go.
Well, actually, I said I could do that. I didn't say I would.
Okay.
I said I could do that. We've been at it since. Anyway. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, there is a 2 p.m. Presentation webinar that we're doing for corporate. I think those links should now be in the back office, Queen, for tomorrow 2 p.m. And then tomorrow we also have our presentation webinar for our guests. That will be at 9:30 p.m. That is a presentation. GFPpresentation.com is that URL. GFPpresentation.com is that URL. Many of you, if you already come to those, you don't have to register again. The system will automatically send you an email. Also, real quickly, as Queen's about to kick me off.
Yes, they have populated the rest of the for the week.
Make sure, if you haven't already done so, that you register for our training hub, globalinternetformula.com. Ignore any references to any paid membership. That's absolutely free. This is the training hub for our GFP audience. This will also put you into our email list, so you know all the live webinars that we're doing, any pertinent announcements that we need to get out to our team. The service that we strongly recommend that you consider for purchasing any customers that you may need, as well as for an ad placement / posting service, is Real Cool Ads. I've heard nothing but absolutely phenomenal things, and I speak with them almost on a daily basis. I'm such big fans of them. They're so professional. And Ryan, you're absolutely right. I mean, with what you shared with me, that just goes to their character and integrity. They did not have to do that. It actually cost them money to do that. But they did it nonetheless. They're just superb, super people. Now, I know there are other third-party systems that are out there that people use, and you feel free to use any ones that you like. I will tell you, these folks have earned my business. They've earned my my support, and they've earned my telling you about it.
They've done an excellent job, too, Lamont.
Yeah. Okay, so that tomorrow night, GFP presentation. That's what I was going to say. GFPpresentation.com, and 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. People can also go to. You can send guests to GFPwebinar.com. Now the presentation is a live presentation. All right, GFPwebinar.com is a simulated presentation where people can actually set times. It runs 4 times a day, 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 4 p.m., 8 p.m., at whatever time for your particular prospect. The system reads their IP address and will let them watch it during those times, or they can watch it on demand. All it really is we recorded a presentation just like what we'll do tomorrow live, so it's now available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or at those specific times if you want to have your prospect set an appointment to watch a presentation, but they can't come to a live presentation. GFP Webinar would be the place to send them. I will tell you, and we'll give you a little bit more information probably on our Thursday webinar about our webinars for the rest of the year. As we get closer to the bulk of the holiday season, We're going to be doing quite a bit of traveling. So I know that we'll take some time away from doing some live webinars. We'll still keep you updated on our email list, maybe send out some videos, things of that nature, just to keep connected. But we haven't quite finished. I know we're not doing any training next week. I know because we're on the road. I don't know about the presentation webinars. Probably won't do that either because we got the GFP webinar. But we'll give you all those details no later than Thursday of this week. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, forgive us if we didn't get a chance to get to your question. Hopefully, you certainly have picked up that we are very concerned about making sure that all of us win here at GoFund Places, GoFund Rewards. Stay tuned to what the company is doing. Pay attention to what the company is doing. We'll keep you informed as much as we can through our email database. Love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours. Create the dream, live the lifestyle, and do what, Queen?
Let's go fun places.
Good night, everyone.